And a good morning, and welcome here into your Thursday, November the 16th edition of In the Know. It's Sam Gormley in for MB today as we get you ready for another edition of the show here on In the Know, as you might be listening with us on K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose via the K105 WMTL app. Watching on Facebook, YouTube, we've got all of the different ways, and we appreciate you for joining us here today. Coming up on the show, we have a very special guest co-host from ECTC. We'll talk about that. We've got your update on some of your local news headlines, a big announcement in Litchfield happening this week. Louisville basketball actually won. We'll talk about that. And then Kraft. You know, like the mac and cheese, they are wanting a word of the year from Merriam-Webster. They're putting the call out. We'll tell you what that word is because I'm sure that we're going to have some thoughts on it. But first, that's not right. That's the one that's correct. Rolling in over on the other side, I can say you're rolling Mach 9.
Yes, I am. But, you know, Sam, that was the wrong music. But I was over here ready to dance to it. So, hey.
Yeah, well, I may be using that music.
Nobody ever changes my music. So.
Yes, no, I just, it's one of those things that I hit the wrong button, because I'm probably going to be using that music here in a second.
Right.
Okay, I've got a good question for you this morning, Christy, to open up. What event would you not miss even if you were sick? This is for women. What event would you not miss even when you're sick for women?
I mean... Are we talking huge? Okay, I would never miss the birth of a grandchild, but I would have to stay in the. I don't know. I don't know
that we're getting that necessarily big. So the new survey says wouldn't miss a job interview, followed by an important work meeting, a wedding, their own birthday party, and 28% of sick women wouldn't miss a romantic dinner date.
All those are interesting. I immediately go to my kids, so I don't know. But
and I guess maybe that's too obvious, because obviously, like if Alea's getting married, you would be there. If Anna's getting married, I mean, they'd probably have to roll you in on the stretcher before you wouldn't be there.
What event would I not miss? I would not miss the next holidays with my grandmother.
There you go.
So.
That's a good one here. And now we'll play this. Because... what works best than when we introduce our good friend Barry Williams from ECTC Litchfield than Usher, right?
That's right.
It helps if I turn your microphone on. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Welcome back.
It's nice to be drug up from the minors and have a chance
Yes, it is. We've called you in from the bullpen today.
That's right.
And it works. Oh, so you know that when you always come on, we have to hit you with the hard-hitting questions.
That's true.
And are you ready for, I'm not going to waste any time, and I'm going to hit you with a hard-hitting one.
Okay.
Which food should be banned from Thanksgiving?
Ooh, which food should be banned from Thanksgiving? You know, and that's like my favorite holiday, too.
Everyone, I think, has one that they're like, yeah, that one can go.
Yeah, you know what? Because I'm a purist, I'm wanting to ban these non-Thanksgiving foods. So, like, you don't need to bring fish to Thanksgiving or ham. It's turkey. It's turkey or get out, you know? It's sort of like we're going to play football, but we're going to bring out a basketball to play with. It's like, no, you're not. That's not the game. That's not how this is played.
Now we know why Mark likes you so much. Because he is agreed. So the most common answer was canned cranberry sauce.
And see, I love canned cranberry sauce.
I do too.
Followed by sweet potato casserole with marshmallows.
Now, see, those people just need to leave. I think you should be extradited back to your country of origin, maybe.
I scoot the marshmallows over.
And the last, stuffing, boxed stuffing.
Yeah, now that can go. It needs to be real cornbread stuffing or don't bother.
See, stuffing is the one that I don't necessarily think it needs to go, but it's not on my plate. Like, it's not my cup of tea with it. It's probably my least favorite of them. And the final one, turkey.
Turkey. Yeah, gotta have that.
Weirdos.
Gotta have it. That can't be dry. It's got to be like good turkey. I mean,
good turkey. Yeah,
you have it like once a year, and then you're going to eat it until you're sick of it, and then you got 11 months to get it out of your system, and then it's turkey all over again.
I know I've said this a lot on the show. Turkey, not my favorite. I'm more of the ham guy. Like when we have it, we'll have turkey and the ham. I'll get like a little bit just because I feel like you have to. Like you almost have to have a slice of pumpkin pie at the end, but the turkey, I just do a little bit of it just to say I did it. and then I'm going to go for the ham for the leftovers.
And see, with my 4 kids, there's always one that won't like something, which makes dinner time really interesting because you're like, okay, we're going to have fish and french fries. And one kid's like, oh, yay. And the other kid's like, yay. And the other kid's, I don't like fish. And I'm like, well, too bad, kid. Too bad, because that's what we're eating. Or you can just have a plate full of french fries.
Which I'm sure most kids would be fine with, a plate full of french fries.
Right. Our default is peanut butter and jelly sandwich because it's like, you don't want what we're eating, then here's the peanut butter, here's the jelly. You can go make yourself something.
Sounds like my mom.
I like
that was
it.
one that we'd always said. Or my mom would always, there's cereal in the cupboard.
Yep.
That's my line as well.
Sunny
You
and
want
comfortable
cereal?
today with highs in the upper 60s and low 70s. I mean, it's going to be a really nice day if you have things to do. But that's not going to necessarily last, as the cold front is going to come in tonight, bringing showers to the region after midnight, limiting lows, though, only at 57 tonight, so it's not going to be terribly cold. Rounds of rain showers are expected tomorrow morning and into the afternoon, with the clouds overhead and rain. Highs will be stuck in the 60s still. Showers will exit the region on Friday evening, leaving behind partly cloudy skies, but temperatures are going to drop 36 as your low tomorrow night as we get ready. But that rain is going to be coming in. But today, if you've got stuff to do out, maybe to rake the leaves in the afternoon, it'll be pretty good weather for that. A couple of the news headlines we're going to bring you. We're not going to dive too much into the news, but we've got a couple of important things and maybe some good news here to bring you. The Grayson County Healthcare Foundation has donated over 10 acres of land to the city of Litchfield. The property, 10.4 acres, is located on East Carroll Gibson Boulevard across from Litchfield Aquatic Center. Have you ever been in that area, Barry? Off East Carroll Gibson Boulevard next to the Litchfield Aquatic Center? I feel like you've been there once or twice.
I think I have. I think I know kind of where that might be.
The property will be used for a sportsplex and recreational facility that is currently in the early planning stages, according to Litchfield Mayor Harold Miller. The city is exploring options pertaining to funding, including grants and private funding, among other avenues, for the planned 50,000 square foot facility, which will offer a wide array of uses. Owensboro Health, upon purchasing the former Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center, gained a right of first refusal on the property earmarked for the recreational facility. And they said that they have relinquished that right to purchase the property so that it could be donated to the city of Litchfield for the project. And I think this will be really good for the city long term. I mean, you see, Barry, I know you come from Hopkinsville, correct? Does Hopkinsville have something similar to this? They do, don't they? We
do. We have a pretty big recreational center that they bring in other teams for tournaments. It's got an indoor soccer area, basketball courts, and a lot of people in the community use it. My grandmother goes there to walk. She's 96 years old. She walks a mile a day, and she goes there to do it.
I love it.
So, but I've got to say, I would be letting one of my faculty members down. Mickey Wright is a huge pickleball player. So if they don't include pickleball courts in that facility, she'll be
protesting out front.
Oh, and she's hardcore, man. She plays. She's got like a team together, and they go and do tournaments and all kinds of stuff.
One thing I haven't done. I know I was inside the high school gym yesterday. We were doing some testing, and they were playing pickleball.
I don't even know what it is. Okay,
it's tennis meets ping pong.
Yeah, that's a pretty good description. I was kind of disappointed when I realized it wasn't a pickle that you volleyed around, but
Probably wouldn't bounce the best. I don't know.
No, I don't think it would. But it's a lot of fun.
It's like a wiffle ball almost that you play with.
Okay, I think maybe Mark's tried to explain this to me before.
Yeah, it's like you're playing tennis, but on a badminton court with a tennis net, but you're playing with a ping pong paddle almost. But it's a big ping pong paddle.
Right, and unlike tennis, you're not having to run as much, which is great because that means anybody of any age can play the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
How big is the ball?
About the size of a wiffle, a baseball.
All right.
It's not.
All right.
It's not like you're not playing with a bowling ball or anything, but you're also not playing with a ping pong.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it'll be good to see, like you mentioned, the basketball courts, and it'll be interesting to see what they had. But that walking track, I think, especially now that you're getting into the colder months, where Christy, you walk at times. You would probably take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I'm excited to see what that can't do. The Ohio County Sheriff's Office has released the name of the person struck and killed on Sunday. We told you about this on Monday. That happened just after 6 on Sunday evening. They were at the scene of a fatal truck versus pedestrian accident in the 1200 block of Highway 231 North near the Davis County line. The person struck was 51-year-old Roy Souders of Davis County. It's currently unclear why he was walking in the roadway. A changeover in computer systems at the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet in January means drivers will not be able to renew or get tags or other services for their vehicles for several weeks across the state. So long story short, if you are needing to re-up your license plate or your license or something in the month of January, go do that like ASAP, because they're changing over, long story short, to a new system beginning in the start of January, and they think that their main system will be offline for 2 weeks. So the shutdown, part of the transition that will bring the new Kentucky Automated Vehicle Information System online, will mean that county clerk offices across the Kentucky cannot issue decals, plates, disabled parking permits, and registrations, nor process vehicle transfers until at least mid-January. So that's going to be out for 2 weeks. So if you need to do that, they're recommending go do that ASAP.
Do that now, and then, have some patience after, when they get up and going, because implementing new systems is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot that goes into it. So do that early and then have some patience later.
Without question. Just take your time with it. And if you need to, go and do that. If you're going to be traveling in the Louisville area, the Sherman-Minton Bridge, which is the one that carries you over. It's not the one in downtown, but it's in downtown. It's the one kind of like outside of downtown there on 64. It'll be closed on or after 10 p.m. on Friday until 6 a.m. on Monday. This is the next phase in them rehabbing that bridge. So if you're going to be traveling in that area, just as a heads up. Barry, are you a sports guy?
Yeah. A little bit, not hardcore into it.
He's really hoping, okay?
Well, no, I mean, not so much, but Louisville.
I am not.
Well, we know that. Louisville basketball successfully ended their season-opening 3-game homestand Wednesday night, 61-41 over Coppin State, in front of a sparse crowd announced at 10,501. I saw a picture. If that's 10,000 people, then there are 50,000 people in this room right now, if we're counting that number. I mean, it was just, there's no way that there was that many. Coppin State 0-4, Louisville at 2-1. They will play Texas at Madison Square Garden on Sunday afternoon. Coppin State is one of the worst teams in college basketball, according to this article. They're either third, fourth, or fifth worst among the 362 teams in Division I, and Louisville ended up winning 61-41. So I guess good. If you're a Louisville fan at this point, you're just taking a win no matter what it was.
Yeah, it doesn't, looking at that sparse crowd in that photo.
Did you see the photo?
Yeah, I did.
There's no way that's 10,000 people.
No, and that's stuff that ADs look at when they're making a decision to keep a coach or not. So, and I like Kenny Payne. He played for Louisville, and then, of course, he coached at Kentucky. And I'm not a Louisville fan, but I want him to do well. So it's you kind of get torn, but that's not a good look.
No. And, I mean, it was a Wednesday night against Coppin State. So you can at least run some of that in there, but I don't think you're necessarily wrong. Barry, I know you're a word guy, in communications and so on. Do you like the word of the year when they do it? Like Merriam-Webster always comes up with a word of the year. Is that something that you gravitate toward? And even you, Christy, do you like when they do the word of the year?
I do. I like words.
Same. It's kind of neat to look at it, because sometimes you get a word that you've never seen before, that they come up with, like, oh, well, that's awesome. Didn't know that was in the vocabulary.
Kraft, they are petitioning Merriam-Webster to make this word as its word of the year. Are you ready for it? Mm-hmm. Moist as the word of the year. To kick off Operation Moist, Kraft placed a massive 6-foot replica of a Kraft Real Mayo jar outside Merriam-Webster Springfield, Massachusetts headquarters. They say, "Dear dictionary gatekeepers, here is a 2,023 pound of Kraft Real Mayo, a.k.a. the Moist Maker, a.k.a. the Moistiest." The label on the overside jar reads, "For years we've watched Moist be degraded by the internet, the media deeming it universally hated. We won't let this slander go on any longer. Our mayo is indisputable evidence that moist is a great word and that every meal is better moist. With America's help, we'll make moist your word of the year."
Okay, so yesterday we had the story about the Moist Maker, right? The Friends recipes that are coming out, whatever. Okay, so Whitney immediately groaned, but it was because of the word moist. And people just go, oh. Right? It's an odd word.
Yeah, I'm older. Well, I don't know that I'm older than the internet. Well, maybe. I mean, but yeah, no. I remember in high school we would just sometimes talk about what's the grossest word in the world. What's a word you can't stand? And that word usually is right near the top of the list.
So you're out on Merriam-Webster picking moist?
The Moist Maker? That's probably not going to go over very well.
Because of mayonnaise. I just found it, and I saw the picture of the huge thing
I
of
think there
mayonnaise.
are other words.
And that's
but
not the quality I look for in macaroni and cheese. Now, I think it's a word that people tolerate if you're buying a cake mix. And it's like Betty Crocker or Duncan
Yes.
Hines, like moist. Yes, that's
Yes,
what you
you
want.
want a moist cake.
But I'm not looking for moist macaroni. That's just not. Yeah, that's not. I mean, cheesy and the stretchy cheese.
Yeah,
that
moist
may
is
be,
probably
but-
not the word that you're going to use to describe a. If you're describing your Thanksgiving mac and cheese, is Thanksgiving allowed? Is mac and cheese allowed at your Thanksgiving table?
It is allowed. Yes.
I know you're. We've learned that you're very protective of your Thanksgiving. So some people have strong opinions about the mac and cheese and whether it's technically a Thanksgiving dish or not. Do you all have it? Does Mark?
yeah.
Is Mark?
Well, no, I'm actually the official macaroni and cheese maker, the homemade.
Oh.
Yeah, my mama is coming to our Thanksgiving, and she will bring macaroni and cheese and her homemade rolls, and I am already looking.
Do you
very
just take
forward
the
to it.
mac and cheese and hide in the closet and just start chowing down on it just because? I'm sure. Grandma's mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be.
No one knows
homemade.
the recipe, right?
Right. Yep.
Because and the best part about that is it's probably not the same recipe every single year. It's a little different, This one it might be a little bit of that and a little bit of that, and it always.
And of course the kids when they hear mac and cheese, they're automatically thinking what came out of a Kraft box because it's when me and Krista get home and it's late. It's like we got to throw something together for dinner quick. So then they see my mama's macaroni and cheese, and they're like, "That's not macaroni and cheese. It's white." It's like that's traditional old school mac and cheese.
Yes,
That's the goodness.
Yes, that's the good kind
Yep.
in there. And then I found this funny. The Marion County Sheriff's Office, I probably don't even need to tell you what state this is. When I read the story, you're going to know what state this happened in.
Okay.
It's Florida. Is seeking the public's help in identifying a man who allegedly stole $900 worth of products from the evil empire and then left it all behind. The incident happened on October 28th at the big box store. According to deputies, the man is accused of filling up a shopping cart with $900 worth of items, including a Bose speaker, a Shark vacuum, and leaving the store without paying for any of it. A loss prevention officer confronted him, and that's when he took off, leaving the cart full of items behind. They said, "We need your help identifying him before he steals again," along with a picture of the man saying, "Be kind to your mind," was his t-shirt, and a dark colored baseball hat. So he had it. He had the great plan, and he forgot maybe the part that, I guess the big box store is lucky that they didn't get in trouble, didn't lose all that, but just like, come on, like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Florida.
Florida, yes.
Yeah.
Florida. That's right. And then today in Problems I Wish I Had, and I think I only really just need to read the headline because I don't think anything else really needs to come of this. Woman accidentally receives $50,000 deposit into her bank account. Gets to keep it.
Man, what luck.
Yeah, she is a life and business coach from Las Vegas. She took to TikTok to share her story. You poor soul.
Right?
You poor soul. I wish I could be that lucky. If anyone wants to listen, I take $5 sometimes.
Usually it's more I find a bill that I forgot to pay.
Yes. Or they let you know that you didn't pay it. We're going to take a break, come back, talk a little bit more about ECTC after this here on In the Know.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues. The Watkins Funeral Home Legacy, a steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwell. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogers-watkins.com or experience the Watkins difference personally on North Main in Litchfield.
Does the nagging pain of a sore knee, shoulder, or hip keep you from doing the things you love? Lose the pain and get back in the game with the help of Owensboro Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Located at Twin Lakes Medical Center, Dr. Isaac Miller and Dr. Ted Rogers are your local experts for hip, knee, and shoulder problems, from minor sprains to advanced procedures. Learn more and schedule online at owensborohealth.org/ortho.
Attention propane customers, has your existing provider been hard to reach? Have you had questions that haven't been answered or experienced long wait times or been asked to reply and send emails for customer support? Don't waste any more of your time. Southern States Co-op in Bowling Green will take your call. They will even swap out your existing tank to theirs at no charge. Southern States Bowling Green Co-op is ready to serve all your propane needs in Bowling Green and surrounding counties, because empty is never an option.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start January 8th. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Congratulations. If you're receiving this message, you are incredibly lucky. For the McRib has decided to grace your McDonald's with its presence once again. Because everyone deserves to experience one before it's gone. But don't brag too much. A lot of the other places aren't as lucky. The McRib is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
The Kentucky Department for Community-Based Services is hiring. DCBS invites you to be part of an inclusive team of caring professionals that helps all Kentucky families through a rewarding career in family support or social services. They have job openings in their county offices across the state and offer great benefits like hybrid work schedule, competitive salary, paid holidays, and many opportunities for training and promotions, plus state employee discounts. Go online to chfs.ky.gov and enter DCBS jobs in the search field. It's a new day at DCBS. Join them, an equal opportunity employer, MFD.
Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai says that Google pays Apple 36% of Safari search revenue. An expert witness testifying on Google's behalf during antitrust proceedings inadvertently revealed the figure on Monday. Pichai confirmed the information while testifying in a separate lawsuit that was filed against Google by Epic Games. Sales of electric vehicles are slowing down. Brad Siegel fills us in.
The October report out from Car Guru shows that electric vehicle inventories on car lots are up more than 500% from last year, despite government incentives designed to get people to move away from cars that run on gasoline. For many, the cost is just still too high, and the report finds that higher interest rates are also making the cars unaffordable for many Americans. Even though the price of EVs is falling, they're still on average more expensive than a gas-powered car.
And General Motors says they're becoming more hands-on at Cruise after recalling their entire fleet of robo-taxis. A GM executive now part of the team. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield.
Today is fast food day. Gotta love it. Probably eat it maybe a little bit too much sometimes. It is the Great American Smokeout, an annual intervention by the American Cancer Society. It is Use Less Stuff Day. This is like disposable containers and paper towels and such. National Button Day. You don't realize how much we use buttons, like on clothing, for like as fasteners and such. International Day for Tolerance. It is Have a Party with Your Bear Day, meaning your teddy bear.
We do that.
I still have my teddy bear that I grew up with.
Too.
I was never a big stuffed animal like growing up. I had a Scooby. My little brother though was the one that had it. He had a stuffed rabbit, and I think the rabbit probably still lives with him at the age of however old he is, 24.
Well, I mean, mine's not like laying in the center of the bed, but I know exactly where it's at.
His probably is.
Did you have a name for yours?
No.
No, mine, I named him, I don't know why, I named him Boo Bear. I guess I was 2 or 3. And
it was just Bear.
And was going through boxes. It's like, oh, that's that old stuffed animal I had. And so I put it in my daughter's room. But yet it's funny because I was like, here's my old teddy bear. But you cannot play with it.
Yes, you cannot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Check Your Windshield Wipers Day, which is actually a good reminder. I probably need to do that. I don't remember the last time I changed those. There's also Guinness World Records Day.
So check your windshield. All right. So listen, I taught Anna how to check her oil level yesterday evening. I also taught her how to check her her liquid, like the what do you call it? The
washer fluid.
Yes. But so all of her fluids, I taught her how.
See, I'm good at checking the windshield. It's when I pull the button and nothing comes out, and I'm like, well, looks like I need to fill that out, and it always happens at the worst time when you need it.
Yeah, and then when you get to the store, you forget to get washer fluid. It's not until you need it.
Yeah. Like I was proud. I was like, and Alea, she was standing by watching. I'm like, okay. Because Anna said to her, she's like, don't be 21 and this be the first time you ever know.
Barry Williams from ECTC Litchfield is our guest co-host today. And obviously, you know, Barry, when you come on, usually we dive deep into all of the things ECTC. Christy, do you want me to pull you off screen here while you're doing? Okay, you can leave on. Maybe you can jump into the conversation here.
Multitasking.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to make sure. Usually you're not on during this, so I didn't want to make things in that. I wanted to start off, though, with Barry, is mentioning that you all at ECTC had a pumpkin contest recently, and you partnered with this with Springview, right?
Yes, we did. I think this is the first time that we have done that in a way in which the residents there actually got to decorate a pumpkin and submit it for their own contest. And so in the other contest, which we've done, I don't know, for several years now, the students will decorate the pumpkins and bring them in, and we'll collect money, and we usually put that towards some sort of a charitable cause. And so in this case, we got to let those residents participate, and then all of the donations then went to procure some goods for that facility for the residents who are there. So it's a really good cause.
I know that. I mean, you are an art guy. Are you able to? I
had it laid out. My artwork from you. I had it laid out.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna bring it today.
I'm sorry. I just saw your reaction and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not supposed to ask you about art.
No, I'm so mad at myself and all the chaos. I was going to bring it.
You're going to see him again at some point.
Yeah, because I was at Art at the Park and you came by, and relationships are so context based. So I see you outside of the norm of this radio station. I'm like, I know that's Christy from the radio station. That's who that is.
I know you.
Yes.
Where do I?
Yeah, I pulled it out of the big sleeve and everything. Oh, all right. Next time.
That's
Barry.
a good reason to come back.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
You've been welcome back already.
Yes.
Sweet.
But
I'm sorry.
Do you design did you carve a pumpkin?
Sadly, no. Oh, well, I did at home carve pumpkins, but that's a whole nother story that I'll have to share with you. But no, and we don't get to. I don't get to judge them. Well, I do with money, and so that's how the whole contest works. Is we'll set up these little cups, and each pumpkin is numbered, and you'll come by and drop change. And of course, we always tell them, hey, dollars will fit inside that little cup just as easy as coins
Especially
will.
like $100 bill.
Shoo, yep, you got it, man. And and we had two winners. Abby Smith won, and of course, Abby, she is an artist. She is brilliant. She actually turned in the first pumpkin, and so if I'm going to give any kind of little strategies for winning this contest to students who would be listening, it's get in early. Now, hers won not because it was just the early bird, but it was just masterfully crafted. She did a Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
I saw some photos.
Yeah, it was brilliant. So she won. Shout out to her. She's also a big comic book fan, especially Spider-Man. If I said she liked DC, she'd get all over me. But and then of course from Springview, Charlotte Galloway was our big winner there and did a fantastic job on her pumpkin as well. So congratulations to both of them, Abby Smith and Charlotte Galloway, for turning in some exemplary pumpkins. And it's just exciting. And now we get to look forward to doing that again next year.
And I know, one of the things that I was like learning about more with ECTC is it's so much more than just, because when people think college, they're thinking, okay, they're going to class, they're taking tests, they're writing papers, and that's it. But there's so much more than that, like especially coming up here soon. I think it's soon as far as next week, right? The multicultural event, which is kind of one of your babies, right?
Well, it didn't start off as one of my babies, but it's sort of been handed to me. It's one of those deals when you're in the and you're professing at a college. You're a professor. You're in this promotion pipeline, and so you find yourself saying, "Hey, Barry, this would be good for you. This would be good for you." But in this case, it's something that I genuinely enjoy doing. And so, multiplying diversity is our theme this year. And so each year we've sort of gotten into a habit of looking at different academic contributions from different cultural groups or countries. So this year's sort of a focus on mathematics. And So I think if memory serves, we're going to have 11 or 12 tables representing different countries. We've got some folks coming from main campus, including the library. They're going to come bring books. We're having some kids come from, I think it's Wilkie. It's the elementary school that's not too far up the road from where our college is.
Yep,
so,
that would be Wilkie.
They're coming on Tuesday. I'm going to be drawing. I'm going to be doing a drawing lesson, and the kids that come through are going to get a little sketchbook and a little pencil. And so we're just going to have a great time, and there's always some food. There's one of my colleagues who teaches American government, Terry. He's Irish. And he'll bring like bangers and mash, or he'll bring brie and crackers. So when you guys get off, you might come by.
I mean, the art. I can't draw. I can't draw stick figures. That's where I was like, I don't know. But then you said food, and then
man.
You brought me back in when it comes to that. This is open to the public, though, isn't it?
It is open to the public. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to, I believe, 3 p.m. are our times. It's only Monday and Tuesday, though, so you got 2 days. And so what it is, you come through, and it's at your own pace. You come through, and you just visit the different tables, and you interact with the different people who are there. We're trying to have some more activities this year. Last year, we issued a survey to get kind of a feel for what did you like, what do you want more of and less of. So there'll be some interaction. So it's not like you come, it's like, I don't want to be there all day. Well, you don't come for all day. You come and you maybe spend 15 minutes. Maybe you spend an hour. And it's just a chance to sort of get a lay of the land of what's going on in the world around you without having to leave Litchfield. Of course, we always encourage people to get out and go. One of our own, Kevin Parrott, he's our CIT instructor, and that man travels everywhere. He actually got, and I'll have to text it to you, he got a photo of the Great Pyramids.
Really?
The Great Pyramid with a camel and a rainbow. One of the rare times it rains in Egypt. He was there.
Was he on the camel?
No, I don't think he was on it.
Okay.
Well, then maybe he was. I don't know. But it's just this picture that you just would not believe it. It's like, wow, you not only are there when it rains in Egypt, but you get a rainbow photo with the Great Pyramid.
Submitted that to like National Geographic or anything?
I don't know that he has, but he should.
He should. Yes. That's really cool. And now, is this Monday and Tuesday, like in a couple of days, or is this after Thanksgiving?
Before Thanksgiving. And this is an annual thing. So if people can't make it this year, every year that we do this, we take sort of that Monday and Tuesday before the Thanksgiving break, and we launch the event then. We thought also it really ties in well with Thanksgiving, considering it's a day that we're thankful for our country, and all of us here are immigrants. We all arrived here from some other place, and so it's a chance to sort of celebrate our roots and the roots of other people, and looking at sort of where we've come from to figure out where we're going.
Diving into some of the other aspects of ECTC, more specifically in the classroom, I know this is the time of year where I kind of call it the F word a little bit when it comes to, because I always had nightmares when I was in college about it, because I feel like it's the word that's tossed out a lot, especially juniors and seniors in high school right now are starting to hear that F word. FAFSA. And I think they keep hearing it and they're like, I don't know what this is. What does it mean? What do I do? Why do I have to do it? And now they're changing it, but the changes are to make it easier? Is that kind of what I'm understanding with it?
Kind of. When you said F word, I didn't know where you were going with that.
Well, so
but see,
you hear maybe one thing and I hear maybe another.
Well, the word I heard was failure, because this is also near the end of the semester, so I'm getting all of the emails of like, what can
can I get extra credit?
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I had this one student one year who said, so what can I do to pass your class? And I looked at him, I said, well, here's what you can do. In the spring, you can enroll to take it again, because right now, buddy, there is just absolutely
nothing you can do. I'm looking at the luck, dude.
Right. I'm looking at the zeros, and so the federal application. Oh goodness, for student financial aid.
Yeah, student aid. Yeah, I think that's
it. Yeah. People are like, you're. Oh, come on, you guys can't remember the basic things, but when you put headphones on and a mic in front of you, suddenly your brain just turns to mush. But the FAFSA is the federal application for financial aid, and it is a must. Even if you think you've got your means of paying for college taken care of, do the FAFSA. It's part of the enrollment process. And my advice to students always is take the free money. If there's free money, if there's grant money, scholarship money, even if it's more than what you need, take it, because they're not asking for refunds back on that. No. Whereas if you do loans and you withdraw or you drop or you don't show up, well, then they're knocking on the door, they're wanting their money back, and then later on you've got to pay it back with interest. And folks, I finally paid off my last student loan a couple of years ago. It took that many years. My wife still owes on her student loans for getting her master's. She's a middle school teacher. So the FAFSA is the gateway to finding out.
But it's hard. It is hard. I recently went through the process for it doesn't matter why, and it's hard. So this is to make it easier.
It is. They're trying to make things. Hopefully it'll become available mid-December. It's been revamped and touted to be easier and quicker for both parents and students. Is kind of what they're saying.
Try to streamline it.
For the new FAFSA experience.
Well, that is great news.
I know that one of we mentioned that there's going to be some expansion in a way across the street as far as building the athletic facilities. But there's also going to be some expansions at ECTC Litchfield. I know some, beginning conversations have been being had with the expansions?
Yes. Beginning conversations. In fact, they're having a meeting tomorrow, I think, to continue that planning phase of what they're going to build. And, a lot of the specifics are unknown at this point. But we know our goal is to make that facility useful in a way that can benefit folks that are entering into the workforce here in Grayson County. The idea of the community college is constantly shifting, changing, and evolving. Nowadays, the big buzzword is dual credit and getting kids that are getting an associate's degree almost by the time they graduate high school. But then also the technical programs, and getting in the AAS programs, the Associates of Applied Science, and certificates and diplomas, and getting these kids qualified to do HVAC or to do industrial maintenance. We've, through working with the hospital already in our small facility, have added a pretty robust nursing program. So it's kind of creepy because sometimes I'm the last guy leaving campus, and so it's my job to go into the classrooms and make sure there's no loiters. So it's like, okay, kids, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That closing time song. Yes. And so one of the classrooms has just got beds and it's got these dummies in it, and you're looking, it's like that's creepy when the lights are already off.
If somebody wanted to stay, they could just easily be a dummy, right?
I am waiting on somebody to pull that prank. And in fact, now I'm going ahead and putting it on the radio airwaves. And so somebody's like, oh, that's an idea. So I'm just telling you, if one of my students does that to me, I'm failing you on general principles.
Maybe it's the one that you wouldn't let him pass your class.
Ooh, he's
ripped the edge. He's thinking.
No kidding.
I know ECTC has partnered also with Cormark to release their Student of the Month for November. I think it was released late last week. Cameron Miller was November 2023 ECTC Student of the Month, presented by our friends at Cormark. I read here, Barry, and I know you have Cameron in class. His field of study is physics, and then particularly theoretical physics. My goodness.
Yeah, theoretical physics. And Cameron's a great kid, but he's a glutton for punishment. He's got me for 2 classes. Back to back. So he's got me for English 102, and he's got me for public speaking. And so one of the things I make my students do is they have to pitch their speech topics. And so he gets up to pitch his speech topic for his informative speech, and the kids start spinning around. And I thought, well, that's a neat way of getting rid of anxiety. Well, turns out his topic is on angular momentum, centripetal force, that sort of thing. And so he was giving us a demo of exactly what that looks like. And I'm like, that's one of the most robust attention getters I've seen. Yes. But man, he's a great kid. He's a sweet guy, smart kid. He reads philosophy as a hobby for fun. Most people, you have to make them do that in a class, and he's reading it just because he enjoys it. So for me, it was kind of a no-brainer for who to nominate. He just exemplifies all the qualities you want in your students.
I feel like if you're going to be a physicist, you're like that's all that needed to tell me, especially theoretical physics. Right? I don't even know what that is, but it sounds yes. It sounds smart. Like theoretical physics sounds sad. I know that the new semester begins on January the 8th. For those listening, I know that one of the things that ECTC always talks about is it's never too late. Like there is not an age group that you're going to say. I'm sure you have students in your class right now that are not your traditional students as far as, in their 18 to 20 range. What would be the message, and how can someone sign up to begin their journey at ECTC or resume their journey?
Right now, one of my favorite classes that I teach is my afternoon public speaking class, and it is the most diverse class I have as far as age. I've got some kids in there that are just turning 18, and I've got some people in there that have that are a couple of years older than I am. And so, and it's just this awesome eclectic blend of experience. And what happens is these kids and these students, they don't just learn from me, they learn from each other. And it's one of the rare privileges I have is I get to learn from them. And so you build this community. And I think keeping that word community in community college is so vital and so important. But my message for them is like what you said, Sam, you're never too old to go back. And you're never too old to learn. You know, it's one of my favorite quotes from Rick Warren, the purpose-driven church guy, and it is that when you're through learning, you're through. So we always have something to learn, and I would encourage you, just come, take a class, try it out. You can even audit a class where you don't pay for it. You just sit and you take it to see if you would enjoy it or not, and if you get something out of it or not. You don't have to be degree seeking to come take a few classes. You could take a computer class to be able to know more about how to use the software.
I know my grandpa always had talked about that he wanted to go to the local, the ECTC equivalent in Northern Kentucky, and he's a retired engineer. Like he doesn't need another degree, but he wanted to go and consider just sitting there and learning about something he didn't know anything about.
Right. And I have 3 degrees, and still the most valuable one I have is my associates that I got from Hopkinsville Community College back in 2003. And the experience with the teachers, the small classroom size, especially here at Litchfield. I mean, you come in the door and pretty soon you're going to be treated like family. I mean, Bobby and Cindy are going to learn your name, and you're going to make friends, and some of those relationships will be with you for the rest of your life.
I know I always tell the story on air as well that one of my good friends from college, is 15 years older than me because he was in the military, came back and so on. And age doesn't necessarily mean anything at all. It's building those relationships. The new semester begins on January the 8th. You can do that for spring. The multicultural event is Monday and Tuesday. FAFSA is beginning soon. Again, congrats on the pumpkin decorating contest to Charlotte Galloway and Abby Smith. I think, did we hit everything?
I think we did.
Look at that. We can check that off of our list today. We've been successful in something. Good job to us.
Yeah.
We've got plenty more coming up here on In the Know as Barry Williams is our guest co-host. Jason Momoa is coming up on SNL. We'll tell you more about that after this here on In the Know.
Wilson & Muir Bank reminds those of us who enjoy gathering with family to give thanks that the food on our table is due to the hard work of farmers everywhere. Join Wilson & Muir Bank at the main branch on November 22nd from 11 to 1 for the annual Salute to the American Farmer. Wilson & Muir customers can enjoy a free lunch prepared by the Grayson County Cattlemen's Association and learn more about the importance of farmers to each of our families. The annual Salute to the American Farmer, November 22nd from Wilson & Muir Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
Finding quality health coverage is a journey, but that doesn't mean it has to be difficult. With Connect leading the way, you'll easily discover a world of low-cost, even no-cost plan options. Whether you're continuing coverage or just getting started, open enrollment is from now until January 16th, and you can get there with one easy step by visiting connect.ky.gov today. It's the best path to quality, affordable health coverage for every Kentuckian.
Kentucky has 80,000 miles of roadway. That's a lot of pavement. It's also a lot of looking out for your neighbor. Being a safe driver means yielding to pedestrians and cyclists, especially when turning, stopping for pedestrians at crosswalks, giving bikes safe distance, and always keeping your eyes on the road. Drive safe, Kentucky. A message from the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. Sunny today with highs in the upper 60s and the low 70s. For tonight, falling down into the 50s and low 60s. Watching some clouds roll in ahead of our next system that will bring rounds of rain into the forecast for your Friday. Colder as we head into the weekend. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrews.
Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine.
Today's Did You Know is sponsored by our friends at ECTC Litchfield.
Well, hey.
Well, how about that?
Barry will accept the money as you leave today.
Yeah.
As Barry Williams from ECTC is our sponsor, and what we just talked about, that's why they're sponsoring it, because all the great things, their new semester starts. I mean, it's kind of wild, Barry, that we say, January the 8th, I think was that what it was? January the 8th, which seems like so far away, but it's not. Like, it's coming really, really quick. I think, a little less than 2 months away, a month and a half, so make sure you see them. And they want you to know, did you know a crocodile cannot stick its tongue out?
I did not know that.
Did you know that, Christy?
No.
That's why this is a show about knowledge.
Huh.
Because we bring this to you. I don't have a lot of time to go into this, but I ran across a list. I know, Barry, you have how many daughters?
4.
4. And Christy, you have 3.
Yes.
So we've got 7 combined daughters between this. So I came across a list here. Signs your daughter is growing up. These are the signs to know when your daughter is growing up.
Okay,
number 1.
out. How old is your oldest?
My oldest just turned 15 back in
all right,
October.
I'm ready.
Okay. When she starts buying you birthday cards instead of drawing them, that's a sign that your daughter is growing up.
Mm-hmm.
When you no longer find the dog wearing dresses, hats, or paint, that's a sign that your daughter is growing up. When she refuses to be seen with you at the grocery store because you embarrass her,
or talk too much,
yet she wants you to buy her something that will embarrass you, that's a sign that your daughter is growing up. Instead of bringing home bugs, she starts bringing home other things that bug you, like boys.
Yeah.
Have you run into that yet?
Well, it's very interesting. And it's not so much Rachel, my oldest daughter. It's Caitlin, who just turned 13. There's this boy who kind of liked her and she kind of liked him. And so for a little while, they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird thing is, because I'm one of the other hats I wear is I'm a pastor. So at our church, this kid's in part of the youth program. So it's like, well, I want to threaten this kid, I want to tell him, it's like, look, we've got land and they don't ever have to find you. But at the same time, I'm trying to tell this kid about the Lord. So, so there's some things you have to try to walk this delicate tightrope.
And you should be thankful that he's in there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. But something my father-in-law told me, he said, Barry, you're going to find out that you have daughters when they start dating that a boy is only one step above an orangutan. And I was like, what? But I'm dating your daughter. Am I insulted? And now that I have daughters, I'm like, you know what, Steve? You're right. You're absolutely right.
Not wrong. And then the final one is, when she gets angry at you, instead of crying, she unfollows you on Instagram.
That's a great list.
That's a good list of the reasons that your daughter is growing up. I wish I had more time because I could have gone the questions to ask your interviewer when they ask you any questions. But sadly, we don't have enough time to go into that. SNL, Jason Momoa is hosting, and they released the promo. And in the promo, he forgot to wear his pants was the thing because he says, I'm so excited. And they said, hey, we love you, but you forgot that. And they pixelated that out. I'm sure people are excited about the SNL. Are you an SNL guy?
Not really. I mean, I always hear about the SNL skits 2 or 3 years after they happen and watch them on YouTube. But
the Nate Bargatze one of George Washington a couple of weeks ago is really good. And I'm not an SNL guy.
I gave it up a few years ago.
The cigarette pack owned by Kurt Cobain could become the most expensive pack ever sold. And when I read this, I'm thinking, okay, what would be the amount of money that you would think that his cigarette pack, when you're hearing that line, the most expensive pack ever sold?
Oh, okay.
Kurt Cobain?
Yes.
I mean, I would go over $500K. Not myself.
See, I don't know that I was thinking that high. I was thinking a good 50,000.
I'll go $750K.
The high bid right now, $2,000.
That's it?
$2,000.
Yes, it's the high bid, which
I'm a little sad.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, really?
I'm, and part of me is baffled because people will spend a ridiculous amount of money on some of the most absurd things.
Yes, and
have we said on air how old he is, or am I getting ready to say? Have you said on air how old you are?
I have not, but as of the day after Thanksgiving, Friday, I'll be 45.
Okay, so you and
Happy
I are
early birthday.
Okay, so I'm 40. I was 44 in August. Okay, I can. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, and that being said, listeners, so I've got a young lady in my dual credit public speaking class. She comes into the class sometimes wearing a Nirvana shirt. I'm like, oh, Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name any other songs? No, I just wear the shirt. So I feel like for some of the listeners, when you say Kurt Cobain was the front man for Nirvana, that sort of started the whole grunge movement.
Yes, that's why age is kind of hard to discern sometimes. So that's why I was.
What I've always found interesting, though, is how much their drummer sounds like the guy from Foo Fighters. It's
an amazing coincidence.
It's amazing. Coffee Mate has come out with an Eggo and maple flavored creamer. No, thank you. That sounds like.
Did you say Eggo?
Eggo. Yes, like the waffle, I assume.
Oh, so my daughter, knowing I had to be here early today, she brings me, as I'm checking my phone and still in my pajamas, she comes in the door with an Eggo waffle covered with syrup. Say, here, Daddy, here's breakfast. And I thought, that's just
what age is this one?
She is 9.
Wow.
Yeah, they're still kind of sweet then. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they get into the.
You have one under that?
I do. I have a 6-year-old too.
Okay.
And her new word is nincompoop.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll tease her. I'll pick her on her about something. She'll say, "Dad, you big nincompoop." And it's like, okay, you shouldn't call people names, but I'm going to just laugh at that. Like, how do you do with that when your kids do something and it gets you so tickled? It's like, I should be mad at you. I need to discipline you, but that was great.
Yeah. Cotton-headed Ninny Muggins. That's the other one that you need to bring her. And then Young Sheldon is officially coming to the end. This will be the final season coming out. If you're a fan of that show, the last one will be coming up. We'll come back, wrap up the show after this. Our Point to Ponder comes up next. You're on In the Know.
Integrity is crucial to the game of golf. Bernard Langer knows all about that. He's one of the most accomplished European professional golfers in history. He once described golf as the most unique game in sports because the players penalize themselves. His integrity was put to the test a few years ago on one of the final holes of a tournament. He had a 3-foot putt for birdie, practically a gimme for a professional. He never touched the ball, but when he lined up his shot and moved into his backswing, the ball barely moved. In fact, the movement was so slight that not even the television cameras spotted it. But Bernard saw it. He could have pretended that nothing happened. Instead, he called a one-stroke penalty on himself, which dropped him in the rankings and cost him $330,000 in winnings. A lot of things motivate our decision-making. Quick and easy fixes, personal gain, everything from basic survival to creating a life of purpose and meaning. When we lack integrity, we shade the truth. We cut corners that benefit us while taking advantage of someone else. But the greatest choices are rooted not in convenience, but in character. Without integrity, we sacrifice long-term gain for short-term reward. With integrity, we do what's right simply because it's the right thing to do, even when it costs us. For more to help you thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 888-SHARE-19. That's 888-SHARE-19. 888-SHARE-19.
My point to ponder for today. I gotta hit that a little bit. A little bit of the Beastie Boys. I gotta have at least one little hit of it. What was a huge drag as a kid, but now as an adult is awesome?
A nap.
Yeah, that to me is number one.
Yeah, nap. Yeah. That's
I don't
probably
think you can top nap.
Yeah, I was trying to find a second, because I think a nap is a clear number one.
Okay, being pushed in a buggy, like a store buggy or a stroller. What is wrong with you children? Sit down.
Yeah, no.
Get pushed around for a while.
That's a good answer.
Right?
You have another one?
Drag as a kid, but you really look forward to it now.
Yeah, you're around,
reading. When I was a kid, I hated to read. Now I love to read.
And I'm the opposite. Oh. I'm the opposite is reading in high school, being forced to read things I didn't enjoy.
And he has strong opinions on
Killed
this.
me. Yes.
Can't let him go there.
Well, you've now opened it up.
I started out strong as a reader, and I continue strong as a reader.
Barry, John Steinbeck is the worst.
Listen, listen, Samuel. It is 10:01.
We fight over this. I'm not a Steinbeck guy.
This is where
we got to pick in 9th grade. We got to pick our book we wanted to read, and I picked Tolkien's The Hobbit.
There you go.
So
okay.
that was
The Hobbit.
That was my gateway into reading. Was right there.
And see, I wish, and we're running out of time, so I don't have enough time to say it. But my long story short with high school is I didn't like not having that ability.
Yeah.
I didn't like they said, here's the Scarlet Letter. Read it.
Well, Sam, if it's any consolation to you, my students, I make them write a literary analysis, and I let them pick their story.
There you go. And that's the way to do it. That's the way you do it.
Okay.
On TV tonight, The Golden Bachelor on ABC. Ghosts UK, the series premiere. Transplants on NBC. And then I got to give a shout out on Prime Video. My Cincinnati Bengals play the Baltimore Ravens. So go Bengals. Today's highlight in history: on this date, 1907, Oklahoma became the 46th state of the Union. On this date, 2004, Condoleezza Rice became the Secretary of State. On this date, 2006, Nancy Pelosi became the first female Speaker of the House.
Fun fact, I was in the play Oklahoma when I was a kid, and my grandmother and I watched it the other day.
I did not know that. Birthdays for today. Former MLB All-Star pitcher Dwight Gooden is 59. Lisa Bonet is 56. Maggie Gyllenhaal is 46. Amari Stoudemire is 41. And Pete Davidson is 30. And when I heard that, I couldn't tell whether that sounded right or not as far as his age. Gone but not forgotten, Dawes Butler. I don't know if you know the name Dawes Butler, but you definitely know his voice. He is Yogi Bear. He's Huckleberry Hound. He's Elroy Jetson. And he's Captain Crunch.
So he was the Hanna-Barbera Mel Blanc.
Correct. Dawes Butler was born in this state in 1916. He died in 1988. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I don't really have much time to play our chart toppers for today. But we'll start out in 1957. This song is number one on this date.
That's an Elvis classic. He's on the Mount Rushmore of rock and roll pop music, wouldn't he be?
He's on mine. And I mean, if he's on both of ours, then does anyone else's even matter?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Barry, I'm going to let you choose because we only have time for one more song. Would you like 1975, 1984, 2002, or 2011?
1984. I'm an 80s kid all the way.
Okay. You are passing on Elton John. You're passing on Eminem, and you're passing on Rihanna.
Let's see how you did here.
Did you make the right choice? We'll have to see. And of course, are we going to play? Of course, we're going to play an ad.
Of course, we have to have an ad.
Yes.
But 1984 was a great year for some great music.
Okay.
It was a dismal book, but it had some great music.
Agree. Prince was number one with Purple Rain.
Good choice.
Happy?
Yep, I'm happy.
Happy with this.
Prince probably also is on that Mount Rushmore of rock and pop, not only for what he performed, but because of so many songs that man wrote.
Yes. And I mean, and this one is when he was singing it in the Super Bowl in the rain.
Oh, doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't. Barry, this has been fun. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Fun.
I'm sure we'll have you back. I'm sure in this role and maybe in other roles, and who knows what other role we might have you back in at some point. But it's been fun today. I appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Awesome. Whether it's these roles or dinner roles, I'm happy to show up.
And maybe when you come, you have to bring some of your grandma's mac and cheese and dinner rolls.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. My pearl of wisdom to wrap us up for today: every opportunity has a difficulty, and every difficulty has an opportunity. Every opportunity has a difficulty, and every difficulty has an opportunity. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of the show. For Barry Williams and for Christy Buckles, this is Sam Gormley saying, now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on